Hey everybody, this is Joey D for Wolfgang Music PH, and we're standing with the guy right now, Manuel Legarda. Man, nice to see you. Congratulations on the reunion, and it's sounding great. We were listening to the sound check a while ago from the middle. It sounds great. I just want to take the people through the stuff that you're using, your rig. Let's start out with the simple stuff. You're using, what guitar are you using for today?
This is a prototype that I'm working with. I'm working with Lyric.
Okay.
To do this guitar. It's a Severo.
Severo, okay.
So it's a familiar body shape.
Yeah.
Some people may know it. Something different here is this is not a tone knob. This is a volume knob. So this controls the volumes for these pickups.
Oh, okay.
And this is for this. Reason being, when I want a clean sound, I set these pickups for clean.
Okay.
And then, so it avoids unnecessary tap dancing.
Oh, okay.
So I have my rhythm and lead here on this volume,
Okay.
and then cleans on this.
So is it also because like most hard rock metal players, you just always have the tone on full? Is that the thing? Or did you never tweak with the tone knob?
Yeah, I never really messed with the tone knob.
Yeah, okay.
Sort of save for the occasional noodling, but on stage it's always on 10, so
Might as well.
might as well make use of it. I still roll off the bridge pickup,
Okay.
but it's nice to have with a flick of a switch an instant clean tone.
Yeah.
So
That's full and vibrant, right?
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
cool. All right. Well, we got to talk about the red guitar. I think all the Wolfgang fans are talking about the old Ibanez. If I remember correctly, that was a gift from your grandmother. Do I remember that correctly?
Yeah, well, it was a sort of a gift. I had a deal with her, like I'll trim the hedges. This is while I was in Spain, and she got me the guitar. So as soon as I got the guitar, the hedges they stopped being trimmed.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
So you're using that tonight for sure, right?
For sure, I'm using that tonight. It's not 100% original. The original neck of that guitar cracked
Oh, okay.
a few years ago, and I found a replacement neck for it, but it wasn't the same. And just by chance, about a month ago, I found another replacement neck for it, which was the correct, combination of colors and wood.
Okay.
So I got that, and I got it together for this gig.
All right.
So
Well, I guess a guitar geek question is you've gone through a bunch of guitars. I remember there was a phase, maybe that was the Worm phase, you were using a black Les Paul. And then I know towards more recent years you were using PRS. I mean, what's your thought process with what guitars to use?
well, in the beginning, it was pretty much the red guitar and the Les Paul. Like midway through the second album, through Cemenolin and Worm, I had the Les Paul. And that covered pretty much all my bases. The only thing that I never really got on with was a Strat.
Yeah.
Same. And I mainly because of the volume knob.
Okay.
It would always get in the way of my strumming, and
Yeah,
the
I get
volume
that.
would eventually go to zero.
Find its way back.
Yeah, so that was the main drawback for me with the Strat. But anyway, going back to your question, yeah, so I was always with the RG, and I don't know, I never really had a chance to try out the PRS guitars. It was always in my peripheral,
Yeah.
and I was always think about it, but it was never readily available here.
Okay.
So fast forward to when they did become available, or actually no, sorry, fast forward to pandemic.
Okay.
I decided to get one.
Yeah.
I saw one in the market, and I just fell in love with it.
Okay. Cool.
It was a DGT,
Okay.
and that's where I got the idea for the separate volume control.
Nice. All right.
And I got to try that. I got to try some other ones, and and by that time, my red guitar was kind of tired.
Yeah.
So it was in retirement. So I just went on this PRS binge.
Okay.
And I still love the guitars, but I'm excited now that the red guitar is back in action, with the correct look and everything. It's like I'm enjoying it again.
All right.
But it's not going to replace my other guitars, It's just going to be part of the rotation.
Okay.
Plus this has been a surprise for me also because this is the prototype,
Okay.
but it's sounding really good.
All right.
The
But you don't fool around with, you don't have like multiple guitars for multiple tunings or whatever, right?
well, that's the excuse.
That's the
for
excuse. Yes, you
guitars.
just change it up a bit. Yeah.
But yeah, I end up on standard E flat.
Okay, cool.
Like even the songs that are supposed to be in drop D,
Yeah.
I just play it in standard
And then
E
you
flat.
just drop the top string.
No, I don't.
Oh, wow.
I
you
don't.
just-
So like
you totally arrange it.
Yeah, weightless, 24 molds. No, sorry, not molds. IOU. Those are all drop D. But I just figured out how to do that
Awesome,
in
man.
standard because it's just less of a hassle.
Yeah.
Plus, like with the red guitar, it's a floating bridge, so it's a pain in
Can
the
be a
ass.
headache, yeah. All right, cool. Well, with your rig, let's start small and go big. Like, what strings are you using? What picks are you using?
Back in the day, I was using 10s, and then I went to 11s. Then I went back to 10s, and I am now on 9s.
Nines. Okay.
Yeah, I watched
Especially
this.
for longer shows like this, right?
Yeah, plus I watched this video of Rick Beato
Yeah.
where they went through string gauges, 8, 9s, and 10s, and I think even 11s. They recorded them playing and all that, and then they just did a blind listening test, and you don't get the fat sound of 10s or 11s. It just feels different under your fingers.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what people are looking for, the feel. But sound-wise, once you're acclimated to the tensions, I think sound-wise there's no difference or not much of a difference.
Okay.
In fact, some people prefer the 8s over the 9s
Yeah.
or the 9s over the 10s. Me, I'm very happy with the 9s.
The nines. Do you have a preferred brand? Do you stick to one brand?
I would switch between Ernie Balls and Diodarios, but right now I'm on the Ernie Ball Slinkies.
Classics.
Yeah.
All right. For picks, do you have a specific gauge, a specific preference?
Here you are. I think these are Jazz 3s.
Jazz 3s.
1mm.
Okay.
No, sorry. These are either 1s or .88.
So Dunlops. Yeah.
Dunlop, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Jazz 3s.
All right. Well, let's go to your rig.
Sure.
I'm very curious. Like I was mentioning a while ago, a lot of great lights.
Yeah.
I remember looking at some of the photos you had before for the recording of the original album.
Uh-huh.
You were just going like straight up basic, like rock and roll, like
Yeah.
Marshall.
The
Marshalls
first
and
album was
Ibanez.
a Marshall stack JCM 800 and an overdrive pedal.
Yeah.
I think it was a TS5.
Okay.
Those little plastic
Yeah.
tube screamers.
The
Either
green
that.
ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah. Well, I've always admired that you weren't afraid to go into modern territory. So, was it a big jump? Did you spend many sleepless nights figuring out how to work these things, or what made you jump to digital?
For me, the main advantage of this is like when we were doing a lot of live shows, even if you have the best amp, the tube amps and everything, every show sounds different, like what comes out of front of house, what you hear on stage, whether it's the mic placement, the humidity. If it's raining, the sound is completely different than when
Yeah.
it's dry. It affects how the speakers react. The air is denser. Electricity affects how the tubes cook.
Yeah.
So there's no consistency
Yeah.
with the modeling stuff. You pretty much get a good sound and you feed a direct out. As long as you're happy with your sound, you have a better chance of getting consistency. Whether it's raining or not,
Yeah.
whether the microphone gets kicked, there's no microphone to kick.
Yeah.
And with me, I have all my presets set up pretty much so that the effects are where they're at.
Okay.
The only thing that changes is time-based effects, like delays, and
Delays and
I
stuff.
tap that in.
Okay, cool.
But
So what's your
otherwise-
like main sound? Like, do you have a bunch of different overdrive sounds, or do you just have like one main sound and like you were mentioning a while ago, just roll off on your volume?
Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but this is the layout of my chain.
Okay.
For this particular thing, I've got 2 amps going into 2 separate cabs,
Okay.
and then so they're kind of blended. They're not in stereo,
Okay.
so they're kind of layered. And so I have an overdrive, I have a phaser, I have a vibe, I have a rotary speaker. I got a shitload here.
Yeah.
I got a detuner that splits the
Oh,
signal.
nice. Yeah. So for extra balls, right? When you
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
switch
and then
that
I got
on.
a couple of delays.
Okay.
One that's set for like a quarter note and eighth note.
Oh, okay.
So I have 2 separate, and then I have an octaver. But traditionally, my main effects were, during the early days, the main crunch sound chorus, which I would kick in on certain parts, like maybe on a chorus,
Yeah.
and octaver.
Okay.
So I've
also, you also combine the chorus with some overdriven sounds. It's not just for like clean stuff.
No.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I can go through some of them for you right
Yeah,
now.
sure.
but,
Yeah. How about your main, like, what's your main drive sound?
Let me lower it a bit. So this is my main drive sound. So that's pretty much the 2 amps that are layered.
Okay.
No overdrive on that. No distortion pedal.
Oh, okay. So are they JCMs? What sound? What ampere sound are you going for? Like, what's the closest approximate?
JCM based, and then the one that's underlying that is Mesa Boogie,
Mesa Boogie.
The Triple Crown.
Nice.
Classic.
Classic stuff.
So, and then this is my clean volume.
Okay.
Then I can.
That's awesome, man. Oh, nice. There's a lot of clarity in your driven sound, right?
Yeah, well, that's always been, I think a lot of people mistake gain for like.
It always has to be on.
Yeah, it's got to. I think you have to have just enough to make it comfortable to solo. So
Yeah.
when you roll off your volume, you get a nicer clean.
Clean, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, if it's too much gain, it's
Yeah.
you lose that clarity.
Yeah, it's all just fuzzy and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So it's pretty clean. And then this is the neck.
That's not too saturated, huh?
No, it's
It's
not.
surprising, yeah.
So that's my main crunch rhythm sound, if you will.
Okay.
I have a rhythm plus dB here, which is like when Basti's not singing sometimes. It adds a little bit of volume.
Okay.
So I have a volume block that changes. I have 3 volume settings.
Cool.
Rhythm when they're singing, like intros when there's no singing, it's a little bit louder, not quite solo levels.
Yeah.
I've got a chorus here.
That sounds really good.
What do I have here?
Like for old songs like As Oceans, when you're going for that jangly, or even on Atomica, is
Yeah.
it just chorus? What else is in there? It sounds so lively when we were listening to it a while ago.
Shit, I don't remember what I was doing, but it could be the chorus or phaser.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Because the common dilemma of most guitar players is when they go clean, the sound just drops and it's not as in your face. But
well, that's what I like about these things. It's you can level match your cleans with your overdriven sounds with your leads much better than like having two amps on stage, a clean and a dirty amp,
Yeah.
or even just one amp. When you're dealing with one channel.
That's such a pain, right?
Yeah. So here it's. I don't want to say foolproof, but it's
pretty
as good
close.
as it gets for me. Like on stage, eliminating as much of the gremlins that might interfere
Yeah.
with the traditional setups.
Okay.
So yeah, then I've got this is a Rotary.
Nice shimmery sounds.
Yeah, I've got a clean sound here. A cleaner. And that has a phaser on it.
Phase, a little phase on it. Little Van Halen.
Yeah, so from there, that's the clean.
Very nice.
And then I've got Octaver.
Nice and meaty. Yeah, nice.
And it makes those little warbling sounds. It's actually a ring modulator
Okay.
that's set up to give you that that octave thing.
All right, cool. Well, a while ago, I couldn't help noticing that the intro to Natutulog Kong Mundo, I never knew that there was an electric fan involved in whatever. So what are you doing there?
So that's
aside from the fan.
Okay, when we recorded that in the studio, there was this huge box which houses a speaker, and then it's got rotating cones,
Okay.
and then the mic picks up that cone. That cone
cones.
is like parang it rotates the sound of the speaker.
Okay. All right.
So I don't need that big box anymore. That's a Leslie speaker cabinet.
Okay.
This is what I have.
Oh, okay.
So it's the rotary speaker. So the fan was just to energize the strings,
Okay.
to give it like that organ-like feel.
Little noise, controlled noise, right?
So and I got that when we used to do live shows in Atrium. After a few beers, you do stupid things. Like we used to play, and then like I would like blow on the strings for effect, for whatever effect, and I thought about that, and the fan was there in the studio,
Okay.
so we just had somebody blowing the strings. Instead of me, it was the fan.
That's awesome, man. Well, preparations for tonight's gig, like, what was it? Are you always playing Wolfgang songs, like even when you're at home? Because some of the Wolfgang songs, because you were a lone guitar player, you were basically filling up the entire space after the bass. Did it take time to juggle, to sort of like jolt your fingers back into it, or are you regularly?
Well, you may or may not know, but we just re-recorded the first album.
Okay.
So I got to dive into those songs like 100%, and I actually redid some parts differently,
Okay.
and so that's what I'm playing tonight. And so for those songs, the first 8 songs, those are not a problem
Okay.
coming into the rehearsals for this show. Now the other songs, like
Yeah.
from Semenolin and Worm and No Falter. Oh my God! It's like, there are things like I had no clue how I did them.
Okay.
Like I had to like really sit down. Slow down the music,
Oh wow. Okay.
and then, like I would get the notes right sometimes, but it didn't feel right.
Okay.
And the muscle memory also came into play. Like if it didn't feel right playing something here, I was like, nah, that's not right. I'd try it here. And then it would come out and I'm like, all right, this is how I did it. And it affects the phrasing.
Okay.
So like when I'm doing it wrong, even if I'm hitting the right notes, it wouldn't sound right until I found
The
like what I
exact
did
way
it.
you did it.
Yeah.
Right.
So like there's a part in New Mother Nature. How was it? How was it? That part, I was doing that a different way, and it just never felt right. And then I it just felt off. And then I remembered I would start here,
Okay.
and so I figured out how I did that. And then
there.
from there, you know, there are like little slides to notes that I would have to do little things, which made the phrasing correct for the song.
It made more sense.
Yeah, and then, you know, so little things like that. It took a while to remember things. Some things longer than others, but I think I got 95% of it.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, final question. Is this the same rig you use when you're playing with other bands, especially like Razorback? You've been playing with them for the longest time. Is it almost the same, or do you also change it up?
No,
a bit?
this is it. There's a few. Some of the effects are not as like I don't use with Razorback.
Okay.
Like the Rotary, for example, the clean sounds.
Yeah.
Throw that out. What's that? But I normally use the smaller one since,
Okay.
like for clubs, there's real estate is like a premium.
Big premium. Yeah.
So yeah, this is my smaller rig. It's got same as this. It's got 8 scenes per preset. It's just that I have to do a little more
More tap dancing.
tap
yeah?
dancing.
All right. Cool.
So, but yeah, the sounds are pretty much the amps are the same.
Okay.
It's just how the effects that I use.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, guys, thank you. That was this is Manuel Legarda, and they're going to be doing the reunion tour, the reunion show here at the. We'll just cut this out. Just
Hopefully
fumbling.
there's a tour.
Hopefully there's a tour. So for Wolfgang Music PH, this is Joey D, and thanks for joining us, man.